Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Hey, brother, it's a Bones Day. I nailed the intro. I pressed all the right buttons. It's going to be a good day. Thank you for joining us and welcome to the Brunch Gimmick here on Love Wrestling. Spencer and JPJ, the fearsome twosome, the dynamic duo. We got to think of something. We had Spencer and Lawrence week a couple of weeks ago, so it's nice to have Spencer and JPJ Day. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you on this beautiful, I guess, Sunday afternoon for you.
Yes, afternoon. I'm good. There's I'm excited to be here. Few and far between when I get to hop on the brunch. So I was available. I said, hey, who's down? I'm good to go. This reminds me of our Raw reacts that we had for a short time when it was just
yeah. That's right next to Total Fellas. And
we did that for what? Like, that lasted a good 4 or 6 weeks, and then it was like, bro, we're old and tired, man.
It's true. And if there wasn't, and knock on wood, if there wasn't Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals tomorrow night, I'd maybe say that we've got that going on. But no, I've got a date with a couple of refreshments tomorrow night as I watch the beloved
that's exciting,
Edmonton Oilers. Here's the thing,
possibly
man, and
on the precipice of history.
And this isn't me like throwing like Boston any shade or anything like that. It is strictly as like comparison. Like, you have probably seen in your life 15, 16 championship parades after like this weekend. I haven't really ever seen one on like the major level. The Edmonton Elks or the Edmonton Eskimos formerly, like, they won a few great cups. It's kind of cool for the CFL, but like it's in the nicest of ways.
The NHL.
That's exactly it. It's apples and oranges, man. So like, even just to be this close, like, is pretty damn wild.
No shade in this question, but were you alive the last time they won?
No, 1990, and I am born in 1992.
Okay, so you were right after.
Yeah, right after. So what can you do? I was technically alive for the last like Canadian team to win a cup, because it was the Canadiens in 93. But yeah.
Well, the Panthers have been the bane of my Bruins existence the last couple years. So I've been pulling for you guys anyway, just because of the ties to Edmonton that I clearly have here. I love wrestling and with you and all these things. So I've been pulling for you because I know it's been a long time. And I know, again, I understand I'm from Boston. Everybody hates Boston. We win all the time. But before we started winning all the time, we didn't win for a very, very long time.
I wasn't
alive for most of that long time.
I do. But we've talked about that. I was a Manning guy. I'm still a Manning guy.
Like,
but I used to be a Manning guy.
I wasn't alive for most of the long time, but like I know what it's like to be waiting and waiting and waiting. And like, and I also know what it's like. Look at the Red Sox came back from down 3-0 to the Yankees in the ALCS.
Maybe we're just throwing out some good karma with this one. That's where we go. We got the Boston Edmonton connection.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Corey in the chat, 92 babies.
How great would it be, Spencer, for my team to win a major championship and then a week later your team? literally a week later because we won it last Monday. So it'll be literally a week to the day that both our teams in our major, one of our favorite sports, would win.
It'd be pretty dang neat, man.
Thing.
Be pretty dang neat.
Yeah, and I think the McDavid legacy goes up. You know, there's just a lot of stories to it. It's good.
Connor
it's
McDavid,
good.
And we'll get into the wrestling here in a couple of seconds. But like, I think, and it's not even a hot take, I think Connor McDavid's going to win the Conn Smythe playoff MVP, regardless which way this goes, man. But either way, let's get to some wrestling. There was lots of wrestling. There's lots of great wrestling coming up. But man, it was a real good week last week as far as I'm concerned. The Wyatt 6, Jacob Fatu debuting. I am super excited on both of those items. Of course, Joe Hendry and NXT. Wrestling was firing on all cylinders this week, man, and I'm real excited to start to dive into it. Let's start with the most recent first, though, because I know you and I here's how the sausage is made, you guys. I was late getting home and late setting up, so I hopped into this room like 40 seconds before we started the stream. But the one thing that we brought up that we wanted to talk about, the one thing right off the bat, was Jacob Fatu, not Caesar Sikoa, as so many people seem to think was happening with a trademark being filed. But man, I am so psyched about this debut. What an entrance to WWE. And like, I'm just going to kick it off with this one because I tweeted it there the other night or posted or whatever the frig we're calling it at this point. Like, I am a big Solo Sikoa guy. I thoroughly enjoy him. You know, I maybe haven't been all this excited about the current run as the leader of the bloodline. I think we were even talking about this. The guy lost 41 straight matches before taking over the bloodline. Yeah.
And what's happening with the feelings of how people feel about Solo Sikoa right now is not because of Solo Sikoa's fault. It's not his fault.
No.
He was booked. Like, what they should have done during the bloodline, I get it. Like, when the bloodline was at its full force and together, he was like the silent assassin killer guy. But like you said, when he was having matches, he was losing them all.
I don't think, and someone fact check me, Corey, if you're still in the chat, brother, fact check me on this one. I don't think he won a match from the time that he beat Cena until WrestleMania. At least nothing on the televised end.
I think that is a true statement. And like, you can book him to be this, because if they would have booked him properly, like, I kind of feel like they kind of did when he was in the bloodline segments. Like, he looked like, oh God, that Solo's Roman was even kind of skeptical of Solo throughout. Like, he was protected that way. But like, on the other side of it, you didn't protect him. You made him look like a bum. And if he looks like a bum over here, and this was the story, hey, Roman's going to go away for the summer and Solo's going to be the evil leader, and we're going to do this thing that we are all super duper excited that it's like, it's good stuff.
Yeah. He
needed to be, if he was, instead of going 0-41, Spencer, if he was 30-11, okay, even if he didn't win a championship, even if he lost bigger matches, fine. But I've seen this guy whoop ass this whole time.
And exactly, and where I'm going with that is you know, there were the online rumors or the speculation, and again, take the rumors for the rumors, but like, if it was true that they held off on debuting him because they were worried that he was going to come in and outshine Solo, I don't like that word for it, but it's the best choice I've got. Like, come in and sort of outshine Solo or sort of take the spotlight. Like, man, probably very much by design there on Friday night. You wanted the guy to come in and make a huge impact, but like,
you know, people
that guy ran shop. And bro,
first of all, I would say one of the more impactful debuts that we've seen in a good while.
That reminded me of when Samoa Joe debuted.
Okay. Yeah.
That's like fair. Samoa Joe came in and he took out Seth Rollins. He looked like an absolute killer right off the bat. I mean, admittedly, you know, and this is maybe where we've got to be a little bit cautious with our optimism here is, you know, Samoa Joe did certainly very, very well for WWE, but he came in, he lost his first match there in pay-per-view, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
So,
but also it was a different
era.
Yes. Like, if the person that used to run things was still running things, like, I don't think that what we saw on Friday happens that same. You know what I mean? Like, I think
that was a huge
people in charge now. I feel more optimism just in general that they're gonna do this the right way. But I look at Jacob Fatu showed up and he immediately looked like the best guy in that group.
Yeah. And even Tama Tonga and Tonga
Loa,
Tama.
right?
Yeah, Tonga Loa, but they changed his name.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank again. I'm,
I don't know.
not smart.
Yeah.
But
Tongans,
yeah, like them looking the Tongans. There we go. Looking scared of him was a great touch to it too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, see, there we go. So Solo defeated AJ Styles in September, but hadn't won a match until June 14th against Kevin Owens.
Unbelievable. That's unreal. That's a long time. That's almost a full year.
That's
almost a full year. And like, again, like, I don't even think we've seen the best. Like, I don't even think we've seen the best of Solo Sikoa yet. To be honest with you, like, he was really good in NXT. And I feel like he can do more than they have him doing right now. But I mean, I think it was hard. Like, like we said, he was on TV for 5 minutes, Spencer, and he looked like the best guy in that group immediately. And I get it. Like, that's his debut. He beat the crap out of everybody.
Yeah, you should look that good on your
That's
debut.
how he's going to look. But like,
yeah.
And again, I'm not a big MLW guy. I've seen some of his matches on YouTube and stuff, but like the stuff he can do, and he's trimmed down. Like, he got in shape. Like, he's lost a little bit of weight, but like, he was a high flyer, like flips and all that stuff for a guy that size. Now as he got a little more shredded and stuff like that, like, this guy can do some things in the ring that it's going to wow people.
Yeah, man. MLW, like, my personal opinion, they're especially lately, they're a very hit or miss product, but like, man, pre-pandemic and even through the start, like, they were on a real roll, man. The Dynasty was fantastic early in the day. Like, I loved Contra. Like, Joseph Samael, I interviewed him actually a few years ago, and like, again, just was saying glowing things about working with Fatu at that point. So, like you said, man, you can only assume that a guy's only gotten better and better and better over the last few years. You can tell that he's in a better physical shape. Yep. Dude rules. Psyched to see him in WWE. Psyched to see where this goes with the bloodline. Like, I think we're right on track for a Roman Reigns return at SummerSlam. And here is the fantasy booking I am aiming for. Give me
War Games,
the new bloodline. Give me the new bloodline versus the old bloodline. Bring Sami Zayn back in.
100%. And it should be in War Games.
I'm sorry. I didn't understand you.
What?
It should be in. It should be in.
Oh, it should be in War Games.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. It's.
But that's where it should be.
And we have very few rules on this channel. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
We shout War Games.
Yeah. But it should be Sami Zayn 100%. It should be the reunited Usos. Roman and Sami should complete it, because that moment on television I'll be crying probably. It'll be curious. Very emotional if Roman, and I think down the line, Spencer, I think we're going to get a Roman Reigns and Cody tag team match against.
I don't know how much I want that.
I think there's going to be a moment where, because Roman comes back as a babyface, and I think there's going to be a moment where him and Cody, I'm telling you,
they're going to have to let bygones be bygones, abso-freaking-lutely. But like,
if you had a super match,
I don't know if I need like the new mega powers. You know,
I know. I'm not saying I'm thinking like a one-off,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know, but I got
against like the Tongans.
Yeah, or against like Solo and Jacob Fatu, or against Solo, or God forbid it's The Rock and somebody. Because I would think next year's Mania, right? You were trying to get
that
Rock and Roman, because Rock and Roman is happening at some point. If you have that penciled in for next year's Mania, let's say we have Rock and Roman as a potential for next year. Why not have a big?
I think they're going to do Cody Roman at Mania, and I think they're going to do Rock.
Wait, Cody Roman Rock, not Cody.
Yeah,
Roman.
Cody Rock. Excuse me.
Yeah. Cody
Thank
Rock.
You.
Yeah,
Cody and Rock at WrestleMania, and I think they're going to end up doing Rock Roman at one of the Saudi Arabia shows.
All right. Yeah, it's possible. Oh, what a waste. But that'd be possible.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think they would probably use something like that as a bit of a tune-up match for Rock getting ready for WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, that's fair. I could see
that.
My
thought.
But either way, when Roman, like, they have done such a great job. Heyman, as we all adore Paul Heyman, all of us. But his role right now as being the basically held hostage by the new bloodline, like that, and I know we're talking about Fatu, but that opening segment on SmackDown with him and Punk,
brother, we can segue. I've segued before.
Incredible.
We can segue to a new one. Absolutely, man.
First of all, that whole episode of SmackDown, I know it's recency bias, but that was probably one of the better episodes of television they put on in a year plus. Like that was an excellent episode. Chelsea Green winning that match was amazing. Getting Money in the Bank. The matches were good, but this Punk segment in general, but with him and Heyman and the hug and that emotion, and then Heyman saying, "Take me with you." Yeah. Like, get out of here and take me with you. And Heyman has this thing now that whenever the crowd chants, "We want Roman," he like almost cries. Yeah. Because he hears Roman's name. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I just think they're killing it with this, this thing was kind of like this. And I feel like recently, basically since Roman left and stuff, it's been really, really good. It's been really, really good. And they're getting it back to like the storytelling is just, man, yeah, I want to tune in to see what's going to happen next. And it's been a long time since I felt that way week after week watching WWE. And I think at the end of the day, that's what it is, right?
Yeah. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan, man. Stop me if you've heard that before.
Yeah.
Not a good time to be CM Punk after that segment.
That, yeah. That segment also ruled.
Man.
Also ruled. Drew McIntyre looked so badass. I mean, he always does because he's Drew McIntyre, but that whole thing was so badass, man. So badass.
Yeah.
It's just the lifting up of the garage door, and he's just, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Everything, like, hey, Parrish, good to see you. Bring a very confused Bronson Reed. Bring a very confused Bronson Reed to War Games. Okay. I'll go with Sammy. But yeah, like, man, I just like the fact that, like, what's the best way to put it? Like, the shows don't feel as like segmented anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like you're doing this to this to this. It doesn't feel like
it's loose.
Jarring. Yeah, no, everything. Yeah, it feels like you're actually working within one environment, one universe, one might say.
And I feel like, and that's good because I felt like it used to be like, oh, the main eventers are over here. They only do certain things. Then these
like everybody was at their own fucking table. You know what I mean? Like a high school cafeteria.
Exactly.
This
and now it feels like,
yeah.
And like you got to pay attention to everything now. You're watching somebody getting interviewed backstage. You got to be looking in the back because somebody might walk by or two people might be chatting over here or this, like they keep you on your toes. And I think, look at, I know I'm like almost 10 years older than you, but we've all been watching wrestling for a super duper long time. I don't need a pat on the ass throughout the show, but like rewarding me with callbacks and Easter eggs occasionally and like telling me that you appreciate the hours that I put into watching your product, it means something to me.
There's nothing wrong with rewarding longtime fans.
Correct.
Exactly.
And I feel like for a long time, the powers that be, like they thought we were a bunch of idiots, and they were like, they're not going to remember stuff that happened.
Well, JPJ, unfortunately,
and this and that.
Unfortunately, in our case, you and I are at least
yes, we are.
Idiots.
Yeah, I am. But like, I do know what happened on Raw 3 months ago. So if you do a callback to that, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, cool.
Oh, know, what a duo, what a trio. Zach joining us in the chat. Good to see you. 6 months for Drew and Punk. No match is still the hottest feud in WWE.
100%.
Yeah,
Parrish is right.
Nail meet hammer. So I'm really excited. I don't know when we're gonna get that match. I would highly doubt we're gonna get it for Money in the Bank. We're 2 weeks away. I don't know.
I think the best hope would be for them that Punk is good to go by SummerSlam,
because that'll be Punk's, I guess, third match back with WWE. We are going to, at some point years from now, I cannot wait to ask the question, who is
would
Punk's
it be the third? Is it the second, right? Was the Rumble his only match?
It was his only televised match, but if you'll remember,
he did that. Yeah,
you will indulge me. His return match with Dominic Mysterio at Madison Square.
Dom just killing it on all levels,
I would have a lot of time. I'd have a lot of time for a Dominic Mysterio Money in the Bank run.
I think he's going to be in the match. If he's in one of those qualifying matches.
I got to be honest with you, man. I think you'd be stupid not to have him in the match. Like,
I like what they're doing, though. I like what they're doing. Because, like, Jey Uso's the big name in there so far, but I like Carmelo Hayes getting in. I like Andrade getting in. I think on Monday night, I think Santos is on next Friday. They're doing LA Knight, Logan Paul, and Santos. I bet you Santos qualifies, so Logan Paul and LA Knight can go one-on-one.
Yep, and then they'll do one of those like last chance qualifiers.
100%. But I like, and on the ladies' side, I think Chelsea Green. I think to me, it's two choices. It's Tiffany Stratton or it's Chelsea Green. Those are the two that I would be like, okay, either one of them. I think Chelsea Green could have a lot of fun with that briefcase. I think she could have a lot of fun with it. And
I completely agree. And
yeah,
like, again, man, I'll always give my bias on that end, but like, you know, and I hate this whole too early, too late. Like when the time's right, the time's right. But I just feel like it would be too soon in Tiffany Stratton's case. I was even thinking on my end of things too. Like if I was putting like some betting odds down, I ain't convinced that the guy's going to win it. But if you were looking for maybe some smart money to put down, I don't think it'd be out of line to have Braun Breaker win the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah, if he's in the match, I would like it.
Same sort of thing is I really think when you're doing something this well, like, and somebody's got all that momentum, you know, I hate to make the comparison, but you look at Roman Reigns and the guy was building momentum, and then in the eyes of us fans, got too much too soon, winning the Rumble, and you turn like that. You can't ruin a good thing, I think, that early. But
how do you?
I don't know.
You just mentioned Braun Breaker.
I did mention Braun Breaker.
Are you okay? And like, don't get me wrong. With Sami Zayn as the IC champ, like fine. I kind of don't want Braun to go for mid-card titles. I kind of want his first title to be. It doesn't have to be. I'm not talking now, but I think it's very clear when you see him, you're like, okay, they are presenting this guy that this guy's the next. He could be the next guy. Like that's how I feel when I watch him and his presentation on the main roster lately.
Yeah, I don't see him losing a match until like WrestleMania or something.
That's what I'm saying.
And if he goes for the IC, I don't think he's winning, or I don't think he's
I don't think he's going to lose it. I don't know. I just feel like that guy. It's like like. Then don't get me wrong. Like they've done a great job of lifting the mid card titles back to like they matter now. They do, because for a long time they didn't. I just feel like if you got a guy like that, and we kind of have an idea of where they think he's going to be, like carrying this company maybe for the next decade or so in a few years, I think you just got to rocket. You got to rocket that shit right to the over the mid card titles, like just boom. Not now. I'm not talking win the title, but like keep them away from them until you're ready to really hit that rocket. Have them destroy people. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway. I don't know. I think there's two schools of thought. Like he's obviously like he's very Goldberg. Ryback was the second person who came to mind, and I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry. I've broken our Ryback rule. I will feel shame. I'll sit in the box 2 minutes. The only time we're allowed to bring up the Ryback or when we were referring to him in jest in the way that Bryan Danielson would as the Ryback, or when we're referencing Rybacksel.
Because remember that? Yeah, they were Heyman guys.
Oh, I still remember Ryback.
They were Heyman guys. I remember
Rybacksel. I love me some Curtis Hannon. Like,
I do too. Ready to go.
Wonder if he's still wrestling.
Yeah, I know.
That'd be a good one to look up.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one to look up. Anyways, Kaiser is your dark horse for Money in the Bank. That's not a bad shot at all. Ludwig Kaiser is so easy to hate.
I like that they're giving him separate shit to do, Spencer.
I do too.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot, especially how Gunther's kind of been away now, because he has the shot at SummerSlam. He doesn't need to. He'll be there after Money in the Bank, I think. But like, why does he need to be there right now? He's got his guaranteed shot, whatever. I like that match that he had with Sheamus a couple weeks ago.
Dude rules,
God, man. That thing kicked ass. Yeah. They beat the crap out of each other. Oh, so good. And like you said, he is super duper easy to hate. And he's very good in the ring. He's got a good look. I like it. I like that they're letting him shine a little bit.
I know it's such cheap heat, but him coming out in Scotland in that Germany jersey with just holding up the three, like unbelievable. I love stuff like that. Sometimes wrestling's at its best when it's at its cheesiest. I still one of the loudest boos I've heard in my life was Chris Jericho at a house show, just cutting a promo on how much he hated Edmonton and loved Calgary. Love that shit. Don't give me an Edmonton street fight anymore as my main event on house shows. I'm so tired of that billing. I'm so tired of that billing.
They used to listen.
Do they do Boston street fights? Is that like your house show?
No, they didn't. I'm sure
ours is like an Edmonton street fight. Is usually what we'll get. I think the last time we got a house was.
I'm sure they have, but like all the heels back in the day to get heat, they would just talk about the Red Sox and how they never won a World Series, and Bill Buckner and the ball through his legs, and even Pete Rose at WrestleMania 14. He got tombstoned by Kane because he was shitting on Boston. And Kane, even though Kane was a bad guy, Kane was like, "Nah, bro, not happening."
Pro wrestling is such a Mad Lib sometimes.
Yeah.
Kane, The Undertaker, and Pete Rose. Like
Pete Rose, man. Yeah. Kane got one of the biggest pops of the night. And he was the evil brother that was trying to kill The Undertaker. And he got one of the biggest pops of the night because Pete Rose was shitting on Boston because Pete Rose beat Boston in the World Series in the 70s, and he was crapping on the town. And that was before we won, so all the drunks were like, screw you, Pete! Like, oh, they wanted to kill him. They wanted to jump the barricade. 100%.
Peter Rose. Not even on colloquial terms anymore. Punishment should be watching the Ryback and Shrek TikTok on loop for 10 minutes.
Excuse me?
Fuck no.
I don't even know what that is.
Basically, and I don't have a better way to put it. It's Ryback like making out with an animated Shrek.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Like it was a TikTok filter or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, cool. So you say you're older than me when it comes to social media, dude. Like, no, I stopped at Nexopia. I'm done. So like, yeah, Nexopia was a local Edmonton social media site. It was very popular around here earlier in the day.
All right.
Yeah. There's a fun fact for you. But yeah, it was a TikTok filter or something like that. And yeah, Ryback just makes out with Shrek.
Fair enough.
Actually, you know what? Let's if we're gonna learn.
The internet is a wild place, man.
Ryback, Shrek.
I wanted to get your we haven't talked about this. I wanted to get your initial thoughts on how did you feel about the Wyatt 6?
Man, I am so excited. I was really like, and I've said this a couple of times before, like Bray Wyatt quite literally is one of the, if not the biggest reasons that like I wanted to be involved in professional wrestling. I still remember being there for SummerSlam in 2020 or 2019, excuse me, watching the Fiend's debut in the ring. Like, I don't know, Bray Wyatt was someone, and I know I'm speaking for a lot of people, I think, on this end of things. Like, he was a wrestler that was close to people's hearts in a very different way than a lot of wrestlers, you know?
I think people appreciated the creativity. Yep. To be honest with you, because that was in a very like cardboard like era of WWE where it was kind of there weren't a ton of great characters, a lot of great wrestlers, but there weren't a ton of great characters, and you could tell that this guy cared about characters and he cared about storytelling and he wanted to do different shit.
I think the irony in having a guy who is like one of the most out there characters or spooky characters or whatever word you want to put on it. I think the irony in someone with that sort of gimmick being one of the most just genuine feeling wrestlers out there. That's the best word I've got for it. It's like, I don't know. Bray Wyatt was close to people's hearts in a lot of different ways. So like, even when they were going forward with the Wyatt sex, or at least you started to hear the rumors and the QR codes and all that sort of stuff started popping up again, man, it was going to be very, very, very difficult for them to like absolutely nail it. And they absolutely nailed it. Like that's
I thought it was really well done. I thought, you know, obviously there's some questions coming out of it. You know, there are people back there that look dead, Spencer.
There were murders. There are murders.
I've watched plenty of entertainment shows. And some of that blood splatter was legitimately that you're not alive. You're not alive.
No, I don't understand. Like, you look at Chad Gable.
I wanted to get there. So
like that dude had like just one swift swing in the head right here.
Yeah.
And now the young man is going to be wrestling in a triple threat qualifier. So
now does he come out? Does he have a bandage on his forehead? Is he going to act not fully himself because they took him out of the match originally and they announced Dragunov was going in there. And then I was like,
okay, now did they just remove Dragunov then?
I think they just said Gable. I don't know. I don't know at all. But I think they would just put Gable back in it and say Dragunov, sorry. Speaking of, like, why isn't Dragunov in one of the qualifying matches to be in that match anyway? Like, why would he have to be added in due to this? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I don't know the vetting process for who
that's a guy
in the Money in the Bank qualifiers.
Yeah,
I really don't. But again, not my same.
Yeah, Corey. Yeah, Chad Gable was cleared by the Undertaker. Honestly, but like, so coming out of that on Monday, a part of me, because of the Chad Gable thing, a part of me thought that maybe that what we saw wasn't like real. You know what I mean? Like it was like an alternate universe, or was like an imagination of what could, I don't know. A part of me was like, oh, that some of that, maybe that wasn't real because there were dead people back there. Maybe You know, that's how I
hate
viewed it.
to break. I hate to break this to you, JPJ.
I know the Undertaker was a dead guy.
Wrestling as a whole.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Wrestling as a whole.
Not real.
Not real.
Yeah. But that's what I was kind of thinking in my brain. I'm like, wait a minute. Huh? And I'm just like, how can they get around this? Because are you just showing up at Raw next week? I know like on SmackDown, they had extra security and stuff like that. But are you just showing up on Raw next week and being like, hey, some of our coworkers are dead. They're not here anymore. Well, they just act like things are normal. We got a show to run.
Keep it on the up and up, you guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now on that note, and you've seen him in the chat a couple of times, Frick, not just today, but for the years of Love Wrestling. See, and again, nice little segue, JPJ. We're getting better at this sort of stuff, I think. After years, we're finally getting there. Coming tomorrow to Love Wrestling's website, lovewrestling.ca, where you can find a bunch of great content, Love Pro Wrestling roster pages, everything in between. Tomorrow, you will be able to find the debut article from one Corey Michaels touching on the Wyatt 6. I've had a chance to read it, obviously, getting it ready for the launch, and it's really, really excellent. So I hope you guys tune in. Check that out tomorrow morning out on lovewrestling.ca. Very, very excited for that. Hopefully, the first excellent article in many excellent articles here from Corey, because I've absolutely loved his work. Make sure you throw him a follow as well here too. Boom. I know that the RVD get like, I don't know how I can do it to you without making it look like I'm booing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's fair.
So I am not booing. I was saying boo earns, but yeah, I just to cycle back on that end, man. I really think that there were really lofty expectations for the Wyatt 6, and they absolutely exceeded them. I don't think, before we move on here, because the match that we were tuning into here in about 10 minutes time is, well, about 20 minutes, and we like to keep her to a tight hour here. It's a Sunday. The match we're going to watch, like I said, but I don't think that it was like some sort of like fantasy or like,
no, I don't now I don't think
Funhouse, anything like that. Just for the fact that like all of those characters seemed like the physical manifestations of all of the characters from the Firefly Funhouse,
so
right? So,
I
don't know if they're.
I guess
want to see if they wrestle in the masks.
Okay, well, here's the thing. That's where I was going. I guess my main question here is like, great debut, loved it. I expect that they'll do more things like that, attacking people, taking people out, creepy stuff. Like I'm expecting more of that, but like 3 months from now, is Joe Gacy is he going to be wrestling for the Intercon? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and that's always
that's my main question.
That's always going to be the tough part. But
how do they do that?
Again, see, it's the worst way I can put it, man. But like, I don't know. Like, what are you going to do when one of them inevitably loses a match?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But
like they can't all go undefeated when they start wrestling because they're these characters that are killing people. Like they can't all, at some point Nikki Cross is going to lose a match as Abigail the Witch or Sister Abigail, Abby the Witch or whatever. Like how do you keep them this way when you have to incorporate this whole other thing?
I think you can still do it, just in the sense that, like, even when they were part of the Firefly Funhouse, again, like I'm assuming, even the fact that 2 nights ago, like Paul Heyman referred to them as the Wyatts, right? That was the first time they were called the Wyatts, at least on television. So I'm assuming it's like a direct lineage with the Firefly Funhouse and the Fiend and everything involved in that. Like, it's a weird way to put it because they're like fucking puppets, but like, Huskus the pig always took an ass kicking. Like, it's not as though he didn't get hit with a hammer. It's not as though he didn't, do the proverbial job. Right. So I don't know. I think there is a way that you can tie that sort of stuff in. I think there is a way, like, and again, I don't mean this as a cop out, but it certainly sounds like a cop out. Like, I got a lot more faith in the people surrounding the
100%.
writing room right now than I would have a few years ago.
Yes. 100%.
Because frankly, and you hate throwing things under the bus, but like any of the stuff that happened on Bray's end, whether it's the Hell in the Cell match, whether it's losing at Mania to Randy, all that sort of stuff. Again, I trust the sources I read, and a lot of them seem to fully believe that a lot of those were directly the calls of one person. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, that's why I'm not worried about it. I just that's the real main question. Oh boy, look at this guy.
Definitely
This guy.
Definitely, Rep.
We're taking off. See you in a few days.
See you, Fred. Have a good one.
You too. Thanks again.
Of course.
Yeah.
Close the door, leave over.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, leave her open if you want. He can run around.
Oh man, what a guy.
The thickness was here. Dude
Yeah,
rules.
he had to. You know,
It's your number one contender.
we don't have that clip, unfortunately, but
To be honest, I'm
bro,
it was a very easy decision after seeing that when he said, "Hey, could we stay here for a night?" I was absolutely don't kick my ass.
that escalated
Save
quickly
that.
on Beards.
Save that for next week, please.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's the best way to put her.
Yeah.
Don't thank me. I'm
Well,
still
Parrish
alive.
kind of mentioned it, but like, is it possible they could do it that way, where like we saw Bray as Bray, and then we saw Bray as when he would go into the Fiend and stuff like that. Maybe all of them would go that way.
I
and
would
like
think
they're
so.
not always
They're
these
still gonna
characters.
they're still gonna have to at some point. Like, again, we talked about 10 minutes ago there about we watched Raw 3 months ago. At some point, there's going to have to be the explanation. You're not just going to be able to walk Rick Bogner and Glenn Jacobs out as fake Nikki Cross and fake Joe Gacy. Like we saw these people on TV 3-4 months ago in wildly different iterations. Hey, that's Nikki Cross as Abby the Witch. Wasn't she a superhero 2 years ago?
Superhero, literally. Yeah.
And that's I loved Nikki ASH,
Oh,
to be quite honest with you. You saw me at SummerSlam there in 2021. But like you're going to have to explain that. You can't just be like, no, that's not Nikki.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I do think, Parrish makes a good point. Like if they're going to have, I keep going back to the Funhouse, I'm sure they're going to have some changes, but like there's got to be some level of a backstage or Firefly Funhouse or Alexa's Playground or Uncle Howdy's Weird House or something like that.
Yeah, something,
right? Where you've got that sort of explanation. There's got to be a reason. There's got to be a why. So, and Parrish, actually, you literally just said it as I did. I guess this will all be answered if we get the why. Exactly.
Yeah.
Huskus would no doubt be a great symbolic loss eater. Absolutely. Like him and Ramblin' Rabbit. We're sort of again, how many times did Ramblin' Rabbit have his head pulled off by Bray Wyatt or smashed with a giant hammer? Yep. I think you can tie that stuff in. It's professional wrestling. You can fucking do anything. I don't have a better way to put it. This is the coolest form of entertainment on the planet for that reason.
It is. 100%.
It's all about the why.
Yeah.
And how you play it.
I agree. And I know we're going to be playing the match here in a couple minutes. But I did we talked about this a little bit before we hopped on in the minute.
We got time. You know what? I think the network gave us an overrun today if we want it.
All right. Yeah. So AEW had a great week of television as well this week. They're done one of the better episodes of Dynamite in a little bit. I thought Collision was solid last night, but I really wanted to talk about the Jeff Jarrett stuff.
Yeah, man.
They showed a shorter version of it on Collision last night, 1.5 minutes, but AEW on their YouTube or social medias released like a 9-minute full unedited interview with Jeff Jarrett. Go out of your way to watch it because it's powerful stuff. It's powerful stuff. I was never one of these people because you always see the people on social media like, why is Jarrett in the tournament? It should be pretty obvious why Jarrett's in the tournament.
Why are we all on the same wavelength today? Because that was exactly going to be my first point.
I don't understand.
Like Google is goddamn free,
like
you guys.
Maybe you didn't watch it in the 90s because you were too young or you weren't born yet, whatever. But like, do some research. Because
it is
honestly,
free. Why is Jeff Jarrett in this tournament? You know the thing you just tweeted? Go and put it on a fucking search engine. Excuse my language. That's the third one today.
They were literally
go to a search engine.
Friends. Like what? It's not hard.
Owen's last full match was against Jeff. Like
it's not hard to understand why Jarrett's in this tournament. But if you didn't know, even if you didn't know how to work Google, you can watch the 9-minute clip from Jarrett last night, and that should be enough for you to understand how much this means to that guy.
Yeah,
because him winning this tournament means more to him than any other performer on both sides of the tournament.
I have no issue with him winning the tournament, to be quite honest.
Especially after seeing that.
I would have said it before, to be quite blunt with you, but after seeing that, man.
And I was going to kind of ask you, like, regardless, of how you feel about Jeff Jarrett as a performer still and stuff like that, I think, like, I watched that video last night, and in my brain, I was like, I want him to win this now.
Yep.
Like, I want him to win this now. And my thought process is, because it's obviously making the rounds on social media. Lou's going to jump up here right now. Yep, there he is.
That's fine.
It's all making the rounds on social media, and I'm like, are they going to get to a point where everybody's going to want Jarrett to win? Because they're all going to see this video and be like, have they painted themselves into like a small corner where it's like everyone's going to see that and go, well, damn, now we want this guy to win because he actually, like, that was pure emotion. And like, you know,
yeah, man, I don't have a better way to put it. Don't worry, Rip was doing the same there. We're good.
But you know what I mean? And I'm just like, how can anybody watch that video and not want that guy to win?
I completely agree with you.
You know,
it's it's absolutely well worth to watch. Take the time after you're done here on Love Wrestling.
Yes.
And hey, if you're feeling like it, throw us a super chat because I only 4 minutes ago remembered to go in and monetize this stream. So help us remake our ad revenue back. Throw us a super chat. Or if you want to support a little bit extra, we've been putting a lot of extra effort into our Patreon, patreon.com/loveWrestlingCA. We got a lot of great content. We're lucky enough to be bringing a lot of great photographers out, as we always have, whether it's been Target, whether it's been Demure Photography, Jordan, Shop I Eat On. We've got a lot of full albums coming out. We're going to have some exclusive streaming going on over there. So if you want to throw some love, no pun intended, pun fully intended. Who am I kidding? If you want to throw some extra love, it'd be thoroughly, thoroughly appreciated. And heck, don't forget, as I pull up our Love Pro Wrestling match, and I need to ramble while I do it, this is a perfect place for me to plug that next week.
Rambling Rabbit.
That's me.
Tie it all together.
Thank you very much. I wouldn't have put that together, so I'm glad we did. Where's the match? I have it here somewhere, and I've got a runny nose now too. This sucks. Bad times. Where'd it go? I got a new computer. I think I told you this, but it also means that I can't find where anything is anymore.
Because
downloads folders
like somewhere. Especially with the Jarrett stuff, he's fighting the wild card in the first round, and you would expect the wild card is going to be somebody that's going to show up and win that match because it's a surprise. And now it's like, well,
Jeff Jarrett versus Ricochet, on their bingo
or what if it's
card
Hangman or like something like a big return, and now everyone's going to be like, well, we want Jeff Jarrett to win because he made us feel things about this.
You know what would make the internet feel some things? If Ricochet beat Jeff Jarrett after that.
Oh, I think the only time where a Jeff Jarrett loss would make the internet implode.
Most of the time?
Yeah.
Actually, that's Jeff Jarrett does a lot of winning. I still remember that Texas Chainsaw match.
Remember that?
That was unbelievably bad, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I love chaos wrestling. It is one of my favorite things in the world. If you ever have the opportunity to just throw it in the bucket, why not?
Yep. 100%.
Leatherface won a match in 2020. Was that last year?
Yeah, I want to say it was late last year, around Halloween.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Who would have thought that it would have been right around
it was.
I think the wild card is Kendrick Lamar. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Nathan, good to see you. You're always happy when he loses. It's a grand time. I will respect the death your right to have your opinion, but I will also respectfully disagree with it.
Yeah.
I love me some Double J. Speaking of,
he fits a role.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, he fits a role, and I think he does it well.
Check out my interview with Jeff Jarrett from a couple of years ago where we chat about Owen Hart, China. Lots of great stuff there.
Yeah.
Lots of great stuff here. Lots of great stuff, including this upcoming match. Nathan, I know you were here for this one. From LPW 2020, 24 hours to go. This was Artemis, Spencer, and Nicole Matthews taking on the Tag Team Champions, Ride or Die. I don't know why I said Tag Team Champions like that, and I hope I never do again.
Fair. That's fair.
He's great, and I hate him. He's so good at what he does. You know what, brother? Perfectly put. But this was an absolute blast. We've been lining up, I think, some of the best tag teams in the world to face off with Ride or Die, and they've just been lining them up and knocking them down, man.
They have. They've been killing it. It's hard to think, who is going to be the team that beats it. It's hard to envision.
Exactly it, man. They're absolutely killing it. And as of Thursday, cage matches based in Europe, so sometimes time changes and whatnot. But as of Thursday, your longest reigning Love Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions of all time. 210 days, breaking the record of 209 days set by the Rads in the inaugural Tag Team title reign.
It's impressive.
I believe Paralero was 180 days, if I remember right. I will also say a huge shout out to both Artie and Nicole, not just for being excellent wrestlers, not just for being excellent people, but for using Gob's "I Hear You Calling" as their theme music, because this song, friends, this song slaps. This song slaps. NHL 2002 vibes.
Wow, I was gonna say, what the hell,
brother? NHL 2002
2002
vibes, which was a hell of a soundtrack.
The soundtracks in that era, I remember some of the Madden soundtracks and like the MLB, and it's like, dude,
They were
the songs just
unbelievable.
hit, dude.
Unbelievable. Any game tracks, I still
Madden
remember-
had Thrice on there at one point, and I was like,
Right?
okay. They had Thrice, and I was like, I'm all right. Well,
I remember Need for Speed Underground 2 of
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of all soundtracks had a really rad remix of Riders on the Storm with Snoop Dogg and the Doors. It was
Hell yeah.
neat. Oh,
well, yeah,
sorry.
Nathan. Obviously, Tony Hawk is a different level. Those
Yeah,
soundtracks were just like that's
If you have
that's
the
God tier. You're talking God tier right there.
If you have the
Tony Hawk.
opportunity to, it's somewhere on YouTube, but Tony Hawk last year or a couple of years ago, like hopped up on stage to sing with Goldfinger, sing Superman, like at a pub show. It is unbelievably cool.
Ugh.
Lawrence, good to see you in the chat, brother. Good to see you got some service. I hope you're enjoying your time away at the cabin.
Oh yeah, was that a wedding this weekend? Huh? Partying
Ladies
it
at a
up.
wedding.
I love a good wedding.
Yeah, didn't ask you to be his fucking +1 either, did he?
No,
Selfish.
I know. If it was open bar, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh yeah, if this was an all-inclusive wedding, brother.
One of the
You're gonna
best
have-
moments you could have in life is going to a wedding and finding out that it's open bar, and then you're just like, all right, well, that changes my situation.
I was just gonna say I don't have many requirements for a hopeful future wedding. That is the only thing that I ask is it is an open bar.
Yep. I'll
I
drop a
understand
20,
wanting
I'll
to make
drop a
back
20
your
in on the tip jar right at the top, and then we're good to go,
Bingo
baby.
bango. Bingo bango. Take the
It was open
billionaires
bar.
out
He
of it.
said, "Son of a B."
We saw Mars the Specialist a little
Mars,
longer.
son of
or,
a B, Lawrence.
Veda Scott saying Mars the specialist. Lawrence, I'll see you on the moon base after this. We gotta have a talk, buddy.
There they are.
we got a stern talking to happening after this one. Shout out to Stephen Crowe, always excellent gear.
Oh yeah, always.
I mean, shout out to everybody, but like those
Every time.
dudes rule.
Show themselves as one of the best tag teams in Canada.
Stephen Crowe going to start this match off. Interestingly enough,
Where'd my dog
Mars
go?
also started the match for their tag team earlier tonight.
Yeah. Maybe they're gonna play some trickery.
Sorry, I'm yelling at my dog.
Championship bout underway.
Touch.
That is fabulous gear by Stephen Crowe for sure. That is fabulous gear.
Hey, there you are. You getting your peanut butter?
Oh, I love peanut.
Yeah, excellent gear. Yes, of course he's
Truly.
getting his peanut butter. He's a very good boy.
This isn't gonna go well.
He's going to get it. I'm sure if the roles reversed,
Catching up on WWE. Hey,
Well,
maybe
technically,
Dominic Mysterio
Yeah, I was
is
gonna
gimmick
say.
infringing on Stephen Crowe.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I had to put my money on it, I bet you Crowe had that well before Dom. Maybe not well before, but before.
Yeah, I was gonna say because Stephen Crow's been wrestling longer than Dominic has, but the
But
Rhinestone
Dominic's
Cowboy-
only had that type of vest recently. That hasn't
Yeah.
been a thing he always had, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna blame Dom. Honestly, easy out.
I mean,
Why are we debating this?
Sorry.
best in the game. Head
Every so often I hear somebody mention Artemis Spencer, and I think, huh.
down to the canvas.
Yeah.
And then I think, oh, they're talking about the wrestler.
Stephen Crowe
Yeah,
does not appear to be
100%.
taped up, so I'm sure everything hurts.
I heard in an interview once, and I really would like to pull this clip up.
gotcha.
All this lines
I really want to pull this clip up again because I can't remember where I found it. But I remember Artemis saying in an interview somewhere that he picked the name because Artemis and Spencer were nerdy sounding names.
That's fair.
And he's right.
Well, your name is Spencer, so how'd you feel about that?
I was pretty.
Were you hurt?
No, I wasn't hurt. I guess I kind of felt like not hurt, but like ouch, like close to the heart.
Yep.
Hi, Rip. Please don't lick my feet. That's weird. It's behind the paywall, brother.
Behind the paywall. Oh.
No free toesies here on Love Wrestling.
No,
guys.
absolutely. If you're giving away free toesies, you are missing out on a financial
Yeah, that's
thing
an
for yourself,
opportunity.
people. Don't do it.
I don't even know how you start to monetize that though.
for the official to.
I don't know.
Have a word with our official.
Really
You
don't.
got to
Anybody-
report it on your taxes, though. I know that.
In the eye.
Come on.
Maybe a little
Really?
tug on the
Like-
head.
Oh, yeah.
I guess so.
If you make
Like,
like
if you're doing like an
significant, a
OnlyFans
certain,
or Patreon
think-
or something like that, yeah.
yeah, like if you make a certain amount of money off of something, like if all of a sudden my Twitch blew up and I was making comparable money, like I have to file that on my as an income.
So far.
Yeah. I think technically you have to, regardless how much.
Well, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Takes the waist.
but if they're coming at us for like $4 of bits, I think we're in, think we're in a
Yeah,
tougher
the
place.
sad thing is they would come at us for $4 worth of bits before they went after the billionaires. Anyway, I digress.
No, that's for Love Wrestling After Dark.
Yeah,
That's the political talks behind the paywall.
yeah, behind it. You gotta pay for that shit. That's what the,
Extending that arm.
Oh, Crowe from behind.
I don't want to say this out loud because I'm hoping that at some point I get back to Edmonton, but Stephen Crowe told me on Beards that when I was up there in January that he was going to chop me.
Nicole Matthews
He didn't,
doing
and I did. I made sure that I didn't. I mean, if it would have came up, I would have done it, but I made sure that I didn't mention it, and it was never mentioned. So we just had a grand old time, and my chest was left in one piece.
I'm gonna be clipping this.
Nice for you,
This is
Veda.
gonna be good for the socials.
I'm
Never coming back.
impressed.
I guess. Well, that's I know.
That's fine. I'll happily come back to Boston.
Oh yeah, it was a good time.
I enjoyed Boston. Solved a lot of the world's problems while we were down there.
Many promotions over many provinces.
It's very, very cool. Nicole Matthews and TFA had
I
their
was gonna
first ever match against each other in Love Pro. It was LPW
Yeah.
4.
Whoa.
And like not only the amount of times that they've wrestled each other at this point, but just like seeing what's the way to put it? Like just seeing how much better both of them have gotten individually, but like how much better their chemistry's gotten and like just working together. Because like I'll go back and watch all of our old matches
Very nice.
fairly often, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Impressive.
And like obviously Nicole's a standard bearer. Taryn is one of the best wrestlers in Canada today. Just been cool to see, man.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's wild to be in year
As I
3.
said last night, I've
I
been
know.
friends with Nicole Matthews for longer than I've known
Oh, this
Steve
doesn't look good. This
Lately,
look-
therefore,
one of
I
my-
always
oh, this
choose
looks like it's
Nicole
gonna hurt.
Matthews, as
Oh,
I did
it-
last
it-
night.
yeah,
Right
that
now,
doesn't look
I'm
fun at all.
cheering
No.
for Matthews and Spencer.
Yep. Oh, he's gonna kick.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, that's not a fun one.
that cannot be fun for one Stephen Crowe.
Uh-oh.
No, it looks actually pretty bad.
Trying to come to the aid of her ride or die.
Uh oh.
Like none of this looks fun.
No.
Submissions here from
No.
Spencer and Matthews.
Ride or die,
Not necessarily
all
here to have my
tied up.
ankle ripped off.
Triangle choke on the ankle.
Oh.
Wise move from Stephen Crowe. Using momentum to hurl Matthews into Spencer to break up
Yeah,
the
Nathan,
submission.
like it's been really wild, you know. And actually, I make a lot of comparisons with like Love Pro and the hockey team that I work for, the Shared Park Crusaders, and that like it's really cool to watch. Like it's a weird way to put it, but like the development process and just watching people get better and better and better. And
Artemis Spencer.
like you say, every month there's something new or there's something added that makes you say, oh shit.
Putting it together.
Actually, yeah, and I would highly recommend you check out that match too. Addison Eagles rules.
Lariat from TFA, double
Oh.
cover, single cover. Matthews able to kick out.
Shout out as well, referee Curtis Barnum.
Swinging back in favor of the
Seen him a couple of times in Love Pro Wrestling before.
Right about that. Yeah, they have
Great
totally
dude, great
turned this
referee. He's
around.
based out of
And
Lethbridge.
managed to fully
If we got
isolate
the
Nicole
opportunity to
They need to keep her in
have
there.
him out for shows, we're always excited to have him up here.
Spencer trying to make his way back up onto the ring apron in his corner.
Though I will say, between him and the Fitz and Garvey and Ben, we've got
To Taryn.
4 wildly different hair lengths. It's like
That's true.
It's-
That is true. Yep.
it's like the 4 bears. It's like this one is this this long. This one is
And like,
this.
you should take a picture of them in the progression of their hairstyles.
Through
From the
Yeah,
least amount of hair
we've
to the
got some
most.
group photos, and actually shout out to Nick, who you can see in the back there that's filming.
Swell gentleman. He's a swell fellow. That guy.
Great human being.
Yeah.
But he's been doing a bunch of the new promo photos and that sort of stuff for us. But he's got some group shots with the referees that are pretty freaking cool.
That middle rope.
Chokehold can be as blatant as it wants if that ref doesn't count to 5.
Nicole just remains trapped
Hmm.
in the wrong corner.
Then again, just doesn't look fun.
The LPW
No.
Grand Championship.
No.
Having a foot on a throat, not for me.
No, like I can't imagine that's a good scenario.
Rose
No.
gonna take on Michael Richard Blaze for the biggest title, the biggest championship.
Oh, this
in
show was so
LPW.
fun.
Stick around.
Meanwhile, I believe there was a tag over in the corner of Ride or Die.
There was.
We've seen this before. Stephen
All right.
Crowe
Boss
likes to
time.
his opponents on that middle rope.
Oh, this ain't gonna be good.
Gonna get an assist
No.
from his partner, and he's gonna try to drive those
Uh-oh.
knees in and cut
And-
Matthews in half.
Up and down.
Ow. Yeah, that would hurt. Broken ribs right there, man.
Drew, why are you chewing my... No, you don't do that. We're going to go for WALK after this, okay?
2.
He's starting to learn to spell.
Oh, he's starting to know what WALK means?
Kind of.
Great wherewithal from Matthews. She said
Like he got the tail wags. There were the tail wags going.
Yeah, meanwhile, Spencer is on the corner reaching for Matthews, but she is
Yeah,
far
we
from
need a
making the
tag.
tag.
Nicole needs a tag to get out of here. She's been taking the brunt of a beating here.
Sure he knows it.
Okay. What are you... No, Rip, what are you doing?
I don't know if you want.
Tony, what are you doing? You fell in the mud again. You just got clean. Now you're okay.
Crowe fires back, but Matthews is right there.
It's also a short stay inside the house. That's how hot it is. Oh no, Rip spells better than me. I hope this is Mars because if you're thickness,
She is taking
you should be
Stephen
driving
Crowe,
right now,
who,
sir.
To his credit, even showed up tonight after that ladder match.
Bow down to the kings. Mars, thickness,
down
Rich.
Matthews connects.
down to the kings. If you need me to record a generic cover version of that for the Short King stuff, I will.
Finally, the tag. Artemis Spencer.
I will.
Legal Stephen Crowe wasn't able to tag in TFA.
Somebody yesterday at the soapbox races, they had they did a soapbox that was modeled. I'll have to send you pictures to like fully describe this. But they had their soapbox designed to look like one of the bridges that we went across on the soapbox race.
Out of the way.
But everybody had their own, and it was actually rad. They had some, like, everybody had their own, like, walkout theme music, like, very wrestling style.
Yeah.
But they came out, and theirs was London Bridge by Fergie. But somebody had gone over it with, like, a voiceover or a chat GPT and had them say Walterdale. It was terrible. Oh, man, this is a story that's only going to make me laugh.
Collapsing to the canvas.
No one
Spencer
else.
takes
Wow.
off.
What's going on here?
Hopefully
Oh.
there's video somewhere.
Both of their faces. And it tagged to Nicole Matthews. Looking to seal the deal here.
Hi, Mars.
I think the clandestine society could feel
And I mean, like, I guess same advice goes. I hope you're not driving right now either.
Yes, 100%. Oh, very nice.
Assisted
text and drive.
moonsault into the cover.
great tandem offense from the challengers, not enough to get it done.
Crowe struggling to even get back up to his feet.
Do this.
Matthews here with the assist.
This is what I needed.
But yeah, the
That's
mood
my...
changed. I mean,
That's what we needed.
Spencer and Matthews
It's a
were
sleepy
on
dog.
top of a
No,
fight.
dude.
Just gonna say
Jinxed
that
it.
Nicole
There you go.
Now it's just a...
smile on her face, but
No.
Beta Scott knows
Now that's
well
just something that we got to put
always
behind a paywall again.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Surface of Nicole Matthews.
Meanwhile, TFA was able to tag.
Have I heard the
in.
Bowling for Soup cover of London Bridge? No.
Artemis Spencer.
I think Bowling for Soup's coming to Edmonton. You better
Are
believe
they?
it's gonna be. I think so.
Hell yeah.
And now
There
we're
is a
down
con.
to
I can't remember who it is.
Played
There's a concert coming
1985,
October
and you're
12th.
like, heck yeah, brother.
That's all I need. I have gone to so many concerts just to hear one song. Dude, get this. When the week it came out, I got to see Carly Rae Jepsen open for
Nice.
Hanson.
Oh,
So like, Call Me Maybe and Mbop for $10.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I once paid $40 to see Scott Stapp at a dive bar.
That's sick. I am
Yeah.
so jealous.
Yep. And he played all the hits.
I think
All of
Creed is, Creed's on their world tour. I think
They
they're
are.
in
They're playing
Toronto.
at Fenway. They're playing at Fenway.
So they're playing in Toronto at the end of July, and I was trying to find ways to make it work that I could even just stay in Toronto
Yeah.
or get to Toronto twice in a month. But I'm
Yeah.
unfortunately going to have to miss Creed's only Canadian stop on their North American tour. That is one of the biggest things I'll complain
Toronto's
about.
the only one, huh?
Toronto, I believe, is the only Canadian because the other
Wow.
one usually, you know, it's weird. You'll usually get the Canadian or the North American tour where it'll stop in Toronto. The
Montreal,
sort of
maybe?
second cities, if they start to tour a little more, will usually be like Vancouver and Montreal. And Edmonton's starting to get there just because Rogers Place, as far as an arena goes, is
Well, I
fairly.
mean, that'll be another reason if the Oilers win the cup, that raises the city's profile as well, not just the Your championship city. That people want to go to a championship city.
I'm fucking furious.
Into the ring when he's not tagged in.
Wow.
Whoa! Wasn't a count.
You know, 6 feet.
Corey,
ain't
2 minutes,
so
2
far
minutes in the
down.
penalty box. Because how do you, how do you fight a tweet? how do you fight a YouTube comment? You know what? So I follow a stream on Twitch that it's a Bob Ross stream. They'll just often play like old episodes of the art or the joy of painting.
Yep.
But their little like notification always just says, "We don't make mistakes, just happy little accidents." And I think I'm following this channel more for just like the nice friendly reminder every so often rather than ever watching it.
Right, that's fair.
Is everybody else getting added by more bots on Facebook?
More bots.
Yeah. I've probably had like 20 in the last 2 days.
Oh, this don't look good.
Oh yeah, bad time.
Oh, that's rough.
What a
And a hell of a good looking Rana.
Artemis Spencer.
Oh, we got a tornado watch happening in Massachusetts right now. So, God bless.
Wait.
Oh, nefarious acts.
I mean, Nicole Matthews
From
is trying to
Ride or
use
Die?
Chicanery.
over here.
Chicanery.
Hogwash, malarkey. It's been insane on Instagram. Yeah, I think maybe the entire meta suite
Are you kidding me?
ain't really doing all that well as far as it goes keeping the robots out.
Just,
And then Twitter's
two.
just Twitter. Sucks. I think we could all just admit we hate it.
Ride or Die has a look of.
Actually, if you guys are watching this on mine or JPJ's or Mike's or Pluggo's or Zach's personal Twitter accounts, bad news. Apparently you won't be able to soon because they're going to start making it so that only paid accounts can live stream
On Twitter.
on Twitter.
Thanks, Elon.
I only read that today.
That might take him 9 years to do that, though.
No, when it comes to him screwing people to make money,
Able to
Yeah,
play
he's
out
usually
it.
quick on that shit.
yeah, quick to
In
the
order
draw
to
there,
fix the
bud.
website and make it work just for everybody, no, I'll take my sweet ass time.
No,
But I can make money. We'll do that today.
Nicole
I've got
Matthews
robots
back
liking
on the
tweets from
scene.
14
Big
months ago
Larry.
and trying to sell
But
me
she's not done.
behind their paywalls. So yeah,
Look at Spencer. We're in end times. End times. It is what it is.
Oh, into
Just
that
gotta ride it out
crossbreaker.
with some great wrestling and great company.
Here
You know?
comes Stephen Crowe.
Oh,
Oh, nice. One of my, even though it's a rather simple looking move and a lot of people do it, I love me a good senton. When they're on the ground, you just dive over them, just put all your weight on them.
love me a
Senton,
good
baby.
senton. I love me a good uranagi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he had to. Stephen
I'm also a
Crowe
fan of
sidestepped.
a well-executed snap power slam.
Jarrett and Nicole.
Oh,
Taryn
Randy
holding
Orton,
up. Matthews
Dustin
trying to
Rhodes had a
spin
good
through.
one.
Ro-
Oh,
hey!
oh, they got. Wow.
Genius. They did it again. You
I don't know who's gonna be able to beat him, Spencer.
Clandestine society.
I don't either. I am, however, just going to remove from here because I love me the Dirty Nil, fantastic band, but unfortunately their label does not allow us to use the music. So I'm just gonna
That fits
close
right
that
in.
one out real quick. That was Ride or Die versus Nicole Matthews and
Right.
Artemis Spencer from LPW 2020. 24 hours to go. Our second anniversary event in March of 2024, obviously, a couple of months ago. It was a good time. Check it out. You can find the full event on IWTV, commercial free, or you can check out individual matches right here on youtube.com/love wrestling. But don't just stop there. You can find us anywhere the podcasts are played, videos reviewed, or awesome contents created by awesome people at Love Wrestling CA, including the handsome gentleman to my right. JPJ, where can the people find you?
You can find me at JPJ Loves Gaming on all social media platforms, even on Twitch. We play some video games and have some fun over there as well. You can find me here Thursdays. We started off at 10 a.m. in the morning now. Me and Drew had just moved firmly AEW back to our original time slot. So at 10 a.m. on Thursday mornings, right
10
on
a.m.
this very
Eastern.
channel. Eastern, yes, sorry. 10 a.m.
Don't worry.
Eastern
I'm just
Standard.
covering off the Edmund.
time.
I'm
No,
covering
you're
off
good.
the
No, I get it.
Edmontonians.
I get it. We
Standing on
talk all
business, I
things-
think is what they call this.
We talk all things AEW over there with Firmly AEW. And by now, if you're watching this show, by now you know Thursday nights, 8 p.m. It's me. It's Pluggo. It's the flagship of Love Wrestling. It's between two beards. And if you were watching this past Thursday, you saw anything can happen because we got ourselves a wrestling event happening this Friday. And that main event, it got haywire on Between Two Beards. I wish we had the clip. We don't, but we had Larry on just having a good time. Larry's a big time friend of the show. And Reed somehow got the link. Me and Pluggo still don't know how. And he came on and he put Larry in his place and it escalated quickly. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Thursdays has kind of become JPJD here at Love Wrestling once again. And then when I'm usually free, I try to hop on Brunch when I can and the other things. But you can find me Thursdays here at Love Wrestling and at JPJ Loves Gaming everywhere else.
Heck yeah, and I think you should. I think you should do that. I think you should check out the replay of Between Two Beards. Follow him on social media because, like JPJ said, it's show week here for us at LPW this Thursday and Friday. We're back at the Rec Room, the home of Edmonton Professional Wrestling, the home of Love Pro Wrestling for 2 events. Of course, on Thursday night, we've got our collaboration with the Clandestine Society. Alan Angels makes his Thursday debut with Love Pro, taking on Stephen Crowe. That rhymed unintentionally, but awesomely. And we've also got a main event of Mars the Specialist facing off with Wolf Boy Will Mantlau, who it's been really, really cool to see, man. Like, his team with the Goose has been doing fantastic on Friday nights. I've really, really loved seeing them gel. But Wolf Boy Will's been killing it by himself on his lonesome. I was trying to make a lone wolf joke there, but not make it Baron Corbin related. It was a weird line to walk. But Wolf Boy Will Mantle has been killing it there on Thursday night. So a well-deserved opportunity at the Championship of Salvation. You can pick tickets up for that at Tixr, TIXR.com/Love Wrestling. I know I'll see you there, Nathan. It'll be good times as always. Lit and fun, as the kids are saying. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. We thoroughly appreciate it. Whether you tuned in live, whether you tuned in the replay, throw us a like, throw us a subscription. We're really aiming to hit 3,900 followers. And then, of course, subsequently 4K here on YouTube. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for helping us hit that. I am probably going to take the pup for a walk here.
Okay.
I shouldn't have said the word. But then I might stream some Pokemon this afternoon.
Yeah.
I've been itching to get going on a new save file for Scarlet. I actually, a couple of months ago, I guess at this point, I started a new save file for Pokemon Legends Arceus, which was, like, by my money, the best Pokemon game ever put out. So I've been playing that for a little bit, but I also, I've gotten to the point in, like, my regular save file of Scarlet that, like, all I'm doing right now is shiny hunting, which is fun, but there's, like, nothing really to accomplish anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's time to start accomplishing some stuff. So let's set a tentative of 2 p.m. 3 p.m. I've got to eat still. Actually, I made brunch this morning. So I've got
Corey, I'm looking forward to reading that article, my man.
I've got my brunch ready to go, so I'm gonna eat.
Let's go, dude.
The dog, and then we're gonna maybe stream some Pokemon. But I'm gonna hang out here with you for a couple of minutes. I got to pick your brain on some stuff. Anyways, friends, as the latest, greatest to ever do it in this province says, in the meantime and the in-between time, we'll see you next time. Thank you, of course, to our patrons. And thank you for tuning in to Love Wrestling. We'll see you later, friends.